Namaste, angels. I'm going to do a client reading, beginning with my cross spread, I think, and I'm still deciding what placements. I think I'm going to do the divine couple in the recent past, and the yeah, I'm going to do that one first. And I'm beginning with the hashtag creepy deck and travel. This is a card about movement. It can be actual travel or travel in a metaphorical sense, moving forward or backward, maybe like with the retrograde season, as this plane appears to be going, maybe backward. This would be like forward to me. We'll see. We'll see what this is about. Opening to the brunette female, which tends to represent, a karmic energy, possibly an actual person. Travel. Family, sliding forward. But I was actually opening to money. Here. Travel. Communication. Today's actually the first day of Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules communication and travel. That's funny. Yeah. So this may indeed have something to do with Mercury retrograde. Because again, what retrograde means is for a celestial body to be traveling backward. And that's what's going on with Mercury right now, the planet that controls travel. It's traveling backward. Travel and control. Travel. I'm going to cut. Blonde female. The overall energy is children. This card represents the divine couple. Recent past. Blocks to the union. The outcome. The masculine's higher self. The near future. What the feminine can do. What the masculine can do. And advice from the universe. Is this all in frame? Good. Yes. Again, the overall energy is children. Divine couple. Past life. So we're being affected by karmic energy, for lack of a better word, right now. Some past life issue possibly risen to the surface to be dealt with. The recent past. Young male. I don't know if the masculine is represented by this, and if so, if perhaps he's younger, but that can certainly be the case. All right, I was debating whether or not to do blocks to the union next. I am going to. True love, interesting. This, could be referring to the fact that we run from true love. So it is in itself a block. All of these divine unions themselves a block to themselves because they're so intense that that's what causes the runner to run. Could certainly be at least one of the messages from this. That's what's coming through thus far. Let's see the masculine's higher self. Beauty queen. So he's feeling very popular and handsome and getting a lot of attention right now. And just in like loving life, basically. Feeling really good about himself. The near future, mature woman. So we may indeed have a May-December relationship, as they call it here. I'm not sure. I have read for this couple once before. I don't recall if that came up, and I didn't like review their, old reading or anything like that. Just starting completely fresh, maybe a May-December relationship. I'm going to save the outcome for a moment. What can the what can the feminine rather, do? Money. This is like it's coming through in a literal sense, but I think it means more than that because I'm getting something else too. It's coming through in the literal sense as in, yes, continuing to not only to work, which is how we earn money, of course, but to value yourself. Like keep up your esteem is what's coming. I don't know if you've been down on yourself and if he can feel that, if he can sense that. Like that card in the Romance Angels that says, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more attractive. It's that kind of message that I'm getting. Like you're feeling like him, how he's feeling good about himself. You're valuing yourself and feeling, having some self-importance, some confidence, some self-love as well. It makes you more attractive to him too. What can he do toward this situation? Explore his passions. He's going to have to let go. If he's the runner and he has ran, he's going to have to face this true love and embrace his passions. What advice does the universe have? There is a third energy. Not necessarily, when I see this, I think when many people see this, the first thought can easily be, love triangle. That's not necessarily the case. It can be, sure, but that's not necessarily the case. It represents for me a third energy. That's not even necessarily a person, although it can be. That's like an interference. So we have to be aware of that. But at the same time, I'm not getting in this placement, I'm getting an additional message that it's not, this card can have more than one meaning, and that the Trinity, the triangle can be a Trinity instead. That's what was coming through. And I guess it made it to my mouth quicker than my thought did. The triangle can be Trinity, or represent it. What the universe's advice is to, to both of you, to look to that higher power for support in moving forward, in loving yourself, in embracing your passion, your true heart's desire. Look to the universe for support. The outcome. Long distance. This is coming through as separation. This is coming through as separation for now. Perhaps while you work on these things. We'll see what we can add to this. I won't try to clarify any of these, I don't think. Oh, the next one is upright. Maybe I'm meant to look at it. Maybe it has something to do with triangle. Family. Third energy can be someone's family who's butting in or something, or controlling family, and it may stem from a past life issue on either side. Some of us have, karmic debt to deal with, and residue, what I call karmic residue, because we do, even if we've completed some karma, we've resolved it, we can carry from our past and our past lives, like this residual stuff that we hold on to, pieces and bits and pieces of old contracts and vows we've taken and things of which we failed to let go. Phobias, or we come into this lifetime or our present with phobias that are based in have a basis in our past and or past lives. So there can be a situation with family on either side or both from this lifetime or another that is has manifested its and made its way into your present and manifested somehow as a third energy that's formed a block essentially, and it's something that has to be dealt with. The next card is upside down, so I guess I was only meant to look at that one and try to figure out what the triangle was, and there it is. There we have it. So I'm going to go on to another spread and see what else we get. Here I'm beginning with the Two of Fire, which is the divine union or quote unquote twin flame card of the tarot. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. So remember, we had that plane that was going backward. It's possible that your separation will, that the message is, and we'll, maybe we'll get more information, but right now I would say it's possible that the message is that your separation will continue through at least Mercury retrograde, which I think Mercury goes direct on the 5th. So at which time it would move into shadow. Yeah, that's correct. It moves into, it's all coming back to me now. It moves into shadow. And I remember this because the day that it comes out of shadow in Leo, I think 11 degrees Leo is my ex's birthday, my karmic, partner's birthday, 9/19. But it goes direct in Virgo, I think. And I could be mixing these two up. Like Virgo and Leo. But I think it goes direct in Virgo on the 5th. And I'm pretty like 99.9% sure about those dates. In any case, I was thinking that because, again, I started with that plane that was going backward. And this is about a partnership moving forward. And it just would seem that maybe right now, while you're dealing with some past life issues on either side of both, it has prohibited you as a union from moving forward as a partnership from moving forward, as this card suggests you should. Opening to the 9 of Air. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. Two of Fire. Lovers represents the sign of Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. The Lovers opposite the Two of Fire, I would say, is definitely about love, because the Lovers can be about other things. Yeah, like they just said, maybe making a decision or even good health. But opposite the Two of Fire, I think it's definitely about the partnership. Two of Fire and the Wheel with Archangel Michael. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. Here's another word about this movement forward. Situation suddenly moves forward. That means it was stuck. Potentially until, well, at least until the wheel's turning in your favor, but potentially until October. And that is going to be a time of movement forward in general, like on a universal level, universal energy, cosmic energy, because in October, Jupiter leaves Libra, where it's been for a long time, and enters Scorpio. And that is expected. Jupiter is the planet of luck and, positive change, sudden positive change and karma. So again, opposite the Two of Fire, that can mean something for you. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is a fire sign. Two of Fire. And the Eight of Fire, speaking of movement forward yet again. Events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over and many things are happening at once. That card can also be about communication the Eight of Fire. Opposite one another. This is movement, again, for these partnerships, before this partnership. Two of Fire. I'm going to cut. Seven of Air, which for me is all about joy stealing. It's an energy of joy stealing, potentially an actual person, but not necessarily. Plans that need revision. More going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. It's also an energy of like distrust, and definitely shows up when I'm feeling a message of trust issues coming on. It shows up to confirm things like that. Overall energy is the King of Earth. Generous, professional, responsible, and practical is the King of Earth. Somebody involved here may be an Earth sign, or, one who takes on the traits and behaviors of an Earth sign, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Or this card can be showing up here because today is, the first day of the Mercury retrograde in Virgo. Generous, professional, responsible, and practical is the King of Earth. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. Masculine is the Page of Fire. Outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous is the Page of Fire. Also a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone taking on those attributes. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. This card in any position as a court card can be an actual person. Very well. The masculine is surrounded by life experience, or the Tower. Archangel Chamuel. The Tower is about abrupt occurrence of something. To me, it's a neutral energy. I mean, it can be something good. It can be something, quote unquote bad, but it's abrupt. It's unexpected. It's not anything that we could control or stop or do. It's the universe taking action. It's a karmic energy. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. The masculine subconscious, the Seven of Water, a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. Seven of Water is very Piscean to me, and like Neptune, it's that foggy kind of, I'm confused, I'm fantasizing, I don't know what to do, I got 10,000 different things floating through my head, ideas, possibilities, and yeah, procrastination. Feminine. The Sun with Archangel Uriel represents the sign of Leo, or other fire sign, potentially Sagittarius and Aries. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. So I use this word with regard to you in the first spread, that's what the masculine was looking for. So nice to see that there. You're surrounded by the Ace of Earth, the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. The Sun and the Ace of Earth is, with an overall energy of the King of Earth, you can't really go wrong. In your subconscious, awakening with Archangel Gabriel. So I just mentioned Piscean energy. Awakening, at least to me, represents the sign of Pisces and the planet Neptune. It's that confused, let me take a step back and look at this again sort of energy. This is the Hangman in the traditional tarot. Look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So this is about being your whole, true, authentic self. Like nothing fraudulent, nothing fake, no mask. Because if you do that, you're not going to present like an accurate picture. Wow, beautiful. The sun and the star. The star represents a sign of Aquarius and communication. Somebody may be um, about to communicate via some sort of electronic means, specifically texting, email, that sort of thing. Represents a sign of Aquarius or the air signs, Gemini, Libra. Happy times make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You're on the right path. The star is also like a big yes from the major arcana. It's a prayers answered, wishes granted sort of card. And sitting here next to the sun and crossing the ace of earth again, you can't go wrong with when these kind of cards show up. I'm even, not mad about the tower, because it must be a really good one. And this isn't a mistake here either. You both got this Piscean energy like mirroring one another with the Seven of Water and the Hangman. At the roots, the Four of Air. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. So this sits here next to his Seven of Water, which can very well be about the need to make a decision, as can the Hangman. That can be why you're needing to take a step back and look at the big picture so that you can decide upon something. Here at the heart of the matter, the Ace of Water, falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth, and enhanced intuition, maybe even a new home. Definitely a possibility with the tower. The tower can often also represent an actual tower, a building, a structure, a home. The tower sitting here next to the Ace of Water can definitely be a home. The Ace of Water sitting next to the Ace of Earth can definitely be a home. Or whatever it is, it's a new beginning. It's like divine, it's blessed, it's what you've been wanting, your heart's desires, your prayers answered, your wishes granted. The universe may be saying no in the past, and now it's yes, wheel turned in your favor, your number's up, you're the lucky, winner of the sun shining on you. Whenever the sun shines on something, it automatically makes it better. That's that yellow light, the light of Archangel Uriel, whose name means God's light, which is of course the sun. And again, this overall energy of the King of Earth, where you like have the Midas touch. Everything just turns to gold. Everything might start out looking kind of funky, but by the time we're done, it's awesome. So let's see how much better it can get with the romance cards. Beginning with passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And opening to reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Reconciliation. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Somebody may have some sort of ideologies or belief systems or old patterns or habits that they follow that affects them one way or another, and whether or not they move forward or they get stuck. Religious factors. Opening to heart-to-heart conversations, which can certainly be from the star. Again, that communication. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. The Ace of Water also can mean reconciliation. This can be there can be conversation that can initiate, now we're back in communication. That path is open, and it can certainly lead to reconciliation. Heart-to-heart conversations and new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings, also represented by the Ace of Water. It's new love, it's love anew, it's renewed love, like all of that. Heart-to-heart conversations. I'm going to cut here. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. The overall energy is this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Here atop the Page of Fire, the masculine deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So when I talked about the card here, that's sort of the mirror opposite in the spread, the Hangman, or Awakening as it's called in this deck, I said, like, there can be no masks. There can be nothing. You have to be your whole, true, authentic self. That can absolutely be what's happening here. Something about the masculine, not his complete self. He's not revealing everything. And it's not necessarily in a malicious way. Sometimes we just don't share things. We don't even realize that we should. It doesn't even come up. We don't even think about it. It can be that, but there's something that would certainly shed light on the situation. He's surrounded by, here atop the life experience, honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Well, here in the United States, we have a holiday at the end of the month or beginning of September, around the time again where Mercury will be going direct, I guess, Labor Day. So depending upon where one is, that can be the holiday time that you might share together. Also sitting next to the Ace of Water, this can be referring to the honeymoon phase of a new relationship or a renewed relationship. You know, we're all giddy again. Here atop the Seven of Water, children. So this is the second time children or family or something has come up, and it's sitting here atop the Seven of Water, and a complex decision that has to be made. So the masculine, I don't even know for a fact that he has children, but it would seem that he may, or that he is somehow impacted by children and needing to make a decision in their regard. Remember, family also turned up there too, with a message from the universe for you guys. Here atop the Sun, you deserve love. You are lovable. And this is always like a Cupid energy for me, and which represents Sagittarius. And again, the Sun could certainly be representing that. Atop the Ace of Earth, romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So you're getting a new chance, a new opportunity to explore them, a divine opportunity. Here atop the Hangman, finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Well, I'd say good. And if they haven't been good, they're about to get good with the Star, the Sun, the King of Earth, and the Ace of Earth. Here atop the Star, separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. I think that this is now, and then that's part of the wish, obviously, for the separation to end, and that the Star can be a means for that as a representative of communication. Here at the root, atop the Four of Air, past life relationship. You've known each other before. I think this also has to do with not only your partnership, but the past life relationship that either of you have with other people here at the root in between. So again, maybe something karmic with somebody's family on either or both sides. I think that that's what this is coming through too. And sitting here next to the finances and career, I think it's in part having to do with that, like it had been a block in the past to the flow of finances and career. There's something you had to move beyond, and that time is coming where you're going to be able to move beyond that. Again, perhaps maybe with the energy of Jupiter and Scorpio, or Jupiter in general. And sitting here next to children, past life relationship, it's taking me back to the first spread where there appeared to be something karmic going on with one's family, or stemming from one's, family and family history, perhaps. Crossing the Ace of Water is another indication that there can be something going on with children here. And it does seem to be particularly impacting the masculine. Maybe there's something he hasn't mentioned about children, including the fact that he has some. That's a possibility. I've had that happen. One of the one of my clients, her divine masculine had 3 children he hadn't mentioned. And, when he finally did, when he took off that mask and was honest, they continued, to move right along in a positive direction. But he had held that back initially. All right, let's see what else is here. What's here atop the Ace of Water? Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So this can be a toxic relationship with one's family, or with one's, like the parent of one's child, the other parent of one's child, and it could be on both sides. Maybe it affects you in a more financial way, some sort of connection to an ex. And if you have children together, that could be, it's affected your finances, and it's a toxic past life relationship, that's like manifested in your present and formed a block for you. And the same can be happening here on the side of the masculine. Or of course, either one going through these kind of difficulties and having this energy surrounding them automatically impacts and affects the other, Let's see what the Ascended Masters would add to this. Beginning with, focus upon your strengths and Apollo. An opening to find the blessing in your current situation, says Krishna. Find the blessings. And teacher, which is all about experience, in my opinion. It's not an actual teacher. It's, the school of life, school of hard knocks, as sometimes we say. Focus on your strength. Opening to right. And another moon. You have moon here. Somebody could be, I'm seeing like somebody could be signing a contract. I don't know if you're divorced, if he's divorced, that's coming through, like signing those papers. Or again, maybe these parties that are coming through are ex relationships, people from whom you've separated, and although you've already signed, it's still coming through, like there's still a connection, a codependent connection between you. Focus upon your strengths. And yoga, which is a means of meditation, in my opinion. Babaji is suggesting it. That may help you. Here we have the 4 of air, and I just bumped the card. It's past life relationship that's sitting atop that 4 of air, and the 4 of air, what it says on it actually is meditation may provide answers. So I think that's probably a suggestion for both of you. Yoga and Babaji again. And positive change, says Parvati. We've seen a lot of that energy, thankfully, that positive change. So I think you definitely have that to look forward to no matter what. Isis says you're going to have to balance career and home life. And she's back. And opening to freedom, says Hina. So you're going to have to find a way, like to give yourselves as individuals enough attention, and then give each other enough attention as a couple, and then, tend to children and work. Like everything deserves its own time, is what Isis shows up to remind us. And so we've got to work on, even if separation is as good a time as any, to work on being able to juggle these things in a healthy manner. And again, meditation may be able to help you with that. Overall energy is peace offering, white buffalo calf woman. And this is about, as it relates to my readings and for whom I'm reading, being able to extend and accept the olive branch. Love has to be able to pass both ways, and it's 50-50, it's give and take. It's very 6 of earth for me. The 6 of earth to me represents the planet Venus, which rules both Taurus, which is that earth, and Libra, which is the fairness, the equity, the equality, the love, the unconditional, pure love. And that's what has to exist in order to be able to give or receive truly this olive branch. I also have to mention, whenever I pull this card, people die. Not, thankfully, not, within the unions, but like surrounding the collective. There's usually like friends, sometimes relatives and people, closely connected to our friends, and certainly celebrities and things pass away when I pull this card. Here atop the set. So this is probably what he's lying to himself about. And this fits perfectly with that first spread. Remember, with the masculine and the true love was a block. And I said it's coming through as it's too intense, so he runs. And here we have him with this deception and this mask and lying to someone, potentially himself. And I think that that's who it is. He hasn't faced this twin flame relationship completely. It's like an overwhelming, overbearing, and that's why people run. Here, atop honeymoon and the tower, because sometimes love towers you, right? It knocks you down. Follow your heart, says St. Francis. So you get back up and follow your heart. Here, atop children and the decision that has to be made. Now, Buddha is also suggesting meditation in order to decide whatever it is we need to decide. Right? Remember, meditation may provide answers. It's sitting right here next to this with the 4 of air. Feminine, atop you deserve love, and the sun, and that right is thought, you might be writing someone off. Letting go. You deserve love, so you got to put yourself, forward, and love yourself first. I've come full circle already. Going back to that first spread, love yourself first. You are lovable. Write off, anybody who disagrees. And I love how these cards are not only the same color, but facing one another. Thought facing this direction, Angus facing this direction. And both with these brown borders. Here, atop romantic feelings and the Ace of Earth, choose peace. So even when we're writing someone off, perhaps, we want to do it like an Ace of Earth in as much as we are able to, which means as warm and compassionate and endearing and empathetic a way as we can. That doesn't mean let anybody walk on you or, mistreat you or anything like that. But we're going to try to do it in as peaceful a way as possible. Here, atop finances and career and the Hangman, spiritual law of attraction. We reap what we sow, we get what we give. So you've been putting out positive energy in this regard, it's coming back, or in any regard, it's coming back to you. Here, atop separation, persistence, says Lou. This was separation and the star. So keep the faith, basically. Persist in your faith that your prayers will be answered, and they will be. That's what the star says. Here, at the root, atop the past life relationship and the 4 of air is that teacher, right? So learning from this experience and maybe that going toward our decision-making process as well. And at the heart of the matter, atop codependency in the Ace of Water, listen. Listen. This can be when dealing with others with whom you may have had some difficulty and struggle, even them. It's again, it's connected to this law of attraction and getting what we give. So we're going to continue to try to be as warm and compassionate as possible, as I was describing before with the Ace of Earth. It's that. It's also listening to one another. Maybe when some heart-to-heart conversations are had and some masks are removed and explanations are offered, not just hearing and not talking at one another, but actually listening is your guidance from the Ascended Masters here at the Heart of the Matter. I'm going to do now what I normally do in the beginning, and that is the spread from the masculine's perspective with the Tony Carmine Salerno Universal Love Oracle. Beginning with balance. So this may be connected to Isis's message when she came through and said, we have to learn to balance career and home life and all the other important priorities we have in our life. We have to be able to make time for them all, including and sometimes, I think all the time, not just sometimes. First and foremost, ourselves. Balance. And opening to Goddess and more Moon. This is about surrender, though. This is a card about surrender, as is the Moon itself. It's all about surrender and feminine energy. The Balance. Listening. Once again, and this big star here, Aquarius. So we had listening just now in that other spread at the Heart of the Matter, sitting here underneath the star. And now this card shows up very similar. So this is, I think, a poignant message for you. Balance. Sorrow from Mother Mary. Balance. And the Golden Path, indicating you're on the right track, headed toward the Emerald City, where healing takes place, in my mind. Right? The Emerald Ray is all about healing, balance back. And Guardian, which is a reminder that we all have, guardian angels that protect us on this walk, on this journey. There's always support available. Especially when we allow ourselves to be our most vulnerable and to slip into that feminine energy of surrender. Again, allow ourselves to be healed. This looks like by the Sun's Light by Uriel, and this orange will represent Ariel for me. Those two archangels, and all about healing. The overall energy is sacred union. So I began one of the spreads with the Angel Tarot and the Two of Wands, which represents, twin flames or divine unions. And then we just had the twin flame card show up atop the masculine, and now sacred union for you. So another cross, but different placements. Here, you, with regard to yourself, celebration. But it's not a typical celebration. At least that's not what I'm getting right now. And I read this card. The first thing I see is this dove when I look at this card, which for me is very Pentecostal. It reminds me of the Pentecost, this picture. And that's the kind of celebration. It's like a celebration of you, of a recognizing yourself. And sort of like with the masculine was suggesting in the other spread that I did, picking up on his energy, valuing yourself. So it's a celebration of you. Maybe even in some respect, like a rebirth of you, like a starting over, like that other me where I was down and lacked confidence and esteem and, and worth. That me is dead, and I'm born again, as the Pentecost will do for folks. I'm anew, and that's cause for celebration. The masculine, as it relates to you, with regard to the union, inner child. This is taking me to the other spread with the children and another meaning for that, especially with the heart-to-heart conversation and the need to listen and the mask for him. You see this child here with the star over her throat and her third eye chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, crown chakra. To me, this child has something to say. And I feel that that's the message that is coming through here. The masculine has something to say too, and have had difficulty getting that up and out of his throat. He does want to have the heart-to-heart conversations though, and they will come. But he was wearing a mask. Remember, a mask of deception. This young lady's wearing a mask as well. So this is the difficulty. This is what it's about. The masculine, with regard to himself right now, as it relates to the union, divine guidance. So he's open to figuring out like what's going on, to beginning to, recognize and grasp that the whole quote unquote twin flame thing and all of that. He's awakening to it and becoming open to it. But yeah, he can admit in the past, he'd rather like blind himself to it. Like, this is too much. I don't even want to see it. I don't want to be around it. I don't want to feel it. I'm not interested. Let me run. So now open to receiving the guidance. And we have some here under this moon. This reflects just how infinite it is. Like, it goes on forever. We always have the support. And can certainly be tied into this month and 8. And maybe the eclipses providing him a particular amount of enlightenment and ascension, growth. The union, masculine with regard to the union right now. Universal heart. Wow. Jesus the Christ. This is the healer of the ages, of course, and the divine masculine of all time. So to see your union as represented by him is to recognize the divinity right then and there. So this like basically told a story of the masculine's growth and yours, as well as yours. Overall, eternal flame. That's what this is all about. And the outcome, fear. This is why it's sitting here right underneath this child with this mask on. This has been at the root of everything and remains. But that's why we continue to, now we know that we can go for divine guidance. We know where to go for support. We're open to actually doing that, as opposed to, turning a blind eye to it, almost literally. And we want to seek it now. We know exactly where and how to do that. So we will overcome this fear with healing. And these cards are the same color too, because they're very much connected. It's fear of this sort of intensity. It's too much. What can the feminine do or contribute toward the union right now? Heaven on earth. This card is all about the need to let go of something to make room for something new. There's something onto which you're holding. It is toxic, or it no longer serves you or your higher purpose or the higher good in general, but you continue to hold on to it. So something new and beautiful cannot move into that space. What the masculine would have you do is to drop it. Just let it go. It is baggage. It is a block. And you may be afraid to do that. And fear itself may be one of the things onto which you're holding. And there's meditation and other, healing practices that can help you to release that. Certainly calling upon the healer of all time can help you to release that. What's the masculine willing to do or sacrifice, contribute toward all of this? Oh, relationship. He's ready to, he's willing and ready, and or at least trying to ready himself right now. He's able, he's conscious of what's happening, in a way that he has never been before. Continues to grow, continues to desire to grow, and he's willing to call it an actual relationship, be in an actual relationship. Fully aware of what he's doing, like intentional, a willful participant in this thing called love with you. What would the universe have the two of you to do or surrender? Trilogy of light, to continue to move nearer and dearer to it. Here's the universe here, and then here's, the divine partners as individuals. So always trying to become closer to one another and to the universe to form, a trilogy, sure, but I think even more than that, a trinity. And then sitting here atop Jesus and divine guidance and relationship, because this is also about your relationship with the divine. Maybe not necessarily Jesus, depending upon what, in what you believe or don't believe. And, no judgment from me if that doesn't necessarily include Jesus. But he is like, you don't have to accept him as God or Lord and Savior, but certainly for anybody who's on this journey that believes in higher realms and higher beings, he is recognized worldwide as, at worst, one of the quote unquote major prophets and an ascended master. So we on this journey, the spiritual journey, we recognize, we honor, we respect ascended masters, whether we believe that, one or another to be God or not. That's sort of like not the point. So it's about the relationship with the spirit, relationship with the divine that's coming through here. Wow. Let's get you some advice. I hope that you liked all of what you've seen so far. I knew it. I felt that they were showing me the moon tree, and sure enough, that's what it is. So here's another card of sacred marriage for you. Okay, the marriage between heaven and earth, and the marriage between two sacred beings. I was actually just trying to pick up those cards. Well, I gave you two romance cards. I'm sorry. There's that one. Okay, from the angels to the masculine. The Page of Fire is back. Again, the Page of Fire is outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. That can be an actual person as a court card, a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo that, comes into his life, or maybe representing his own energy, that will bring news of an opportunity or like help him, to achieve that. And the King of Fire, motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic is the King of Fire. Also the divine masculine of the tarot. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. The King of Fire, like the page, maybe again taking us back to that potential May-December relationship. King of Fire can be older than the page, younger, or at least more youthful, if not actually younger. And like the page, there's a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. From the romance angels to you, again, you've got two. You've got the deception on your side, someone wearing a false self mask in this relationship. And love yourself first. The card that I've been talking about the whole time. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So yeah, I'm glad that you got those, because this deception is showing up to say, like even you've been hiding something, and it's you. That's what you've been hiding, yourself. Like your true, authentic, whole, valuable self. That's what you've been withholding. The masculine. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. From the Ascended Masters, crystals and Epona. Crystals can help him to heal areas of his life that require it. And for you, go now, says Serapis Bay. Maybe this is go now, away from that old thing you need to leave alone, toward your future and toward your new. From the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine, Guardian. So he has support, he has protection, but I feel like he's come to know and understand and believe this. But this is just a reminder here. And for you, Golden Path is back. You are on the right track. I hope that you enjoy your reading, dear, and you find it helpful. Namaste, Angel.